Hi class, this is the video lesson for homework 13. This is the first of 3 homeworks, 13, 14, and 15, all that deal with solving equations. As you move from section to section, you will use the procedures we learn in this first homework in each of the following ones. An equation is simply 2 algebraic expressions connected by an equal sign. The instructions will say solve this equation, but that equal sign is part of what is your clue that you're working on solving. You want to make sure there's a big difference between simplifying an expression, which we just did in homework 12, and what we're doing now. Ultimately, our goal is to isolate the variable, get the variable alone. So the procedures we're going to learn look something like this. We'll subtract 4 from both sides. And then we will divide both sides by 2, and we'll get x equals 2. So that's our ultimate goal, is to be able to find something that's a solution, and then we can use our evaluation skills to plug in 2 for x and see that we do get 8, which is what we wanted. So we'll check that solution. So that's our ultimate goal, is getting there. Always simplify both expressions on the left and the right when you begin the problem. So some things, like the one on the previous page, will already be simplified, and other times they won't be. So if you have a more complicated expression on each side, you want to do the simplification first, and then at the end you can always evaluate to make sure you've done it correctly. Is x equals 1 a solution to this equation? We plug in 1 for x, and we get 3, and that doesn't equal 7. So we would say no, this is not a solution. If you're doing a test or a homework and you go to check and you find that what you think is the solution doesn't work, you want to go back and look through your steps of the problem to see where you might have made a mistake. In this first lesson, we're going to learn about the addition property of equality. You want to think of an equation like a scale in balance, and the things you're allowed to do are things that don't alter the balance. So the addition property of equality says you can add or subtract the same thing from both sides without changing the solution. And in this case, I see there are 2 terms on this side and only 1 term on that side. So I'm going to want to subtract 4 to try and get this in balance. So I have x equals 9. So you want to look and see the side that has maybe more terms is where you want to use your addition property of equality. And again, it could be called the addition or subtraction because you can subtract 4 from both sides. And then you can check, does 9 plus 4 equal 13? Yes. In this case, this side has more terms, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides. I get x equals 21. I can check, does 21 minus 7 equal 14? Yes. Here we have a whole lot of stuff on this side. This needs to be simplified. We need to remove parentheses. So we get 6x minus 2 minus 5x minus 1 equals 10. So we've removed parentheses. Step 2 is to combine like terms. 6x minus 5x is x. Negative 2 and negative 1 is negative 3. So we've removed parentheses, combined like terms, and now we're going to use our addition property of equality and add 3 to both sides, and we get x equals 13. Now to check, you don't want to plug it into something later on, like in the red where I've been writing. You want to plug it back into the beginning. So 6 times 13 minus 2 minus 5 times 13 plus 1 And we're hoping this gives us 10. So this is 78 minus 2, 65 plus 1, 76 minus 66, and that's 10. So that is correct. If you have any other questions about solving equations, let me know. Remember, each time you're going to keep growing to your list. So far our list includes removing parentheses, combining like terms, and then doing the adding property of equality. And so then you'll have a fourth step in the next homework.